Can a single barrel bourbon named Four Roses possibly be worth 4 stars?
It's a beautiful night for bourbon. It's always a beautiful night for bourbon. And, well, as usual, I've got bourbon. Tonight, it's the Four Roses Single Barrel. Warehouse number TS, barrel number 24-60. 50% alcohol by volume or 100 proof, but not bottled in bond. So here it is. Hopefully you can see that if it will focus in. I'm kind of hoping that it will. The Four Roses uses mash bill OBSV. And these 4 letters all stand for something. The O is basically the same on all of their recipes. And it basically just indicates that it was distilled by Four Roses. The B indicates the mash bill. And this one is 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. So it is a very high rye bourbon. The S means that it is a straight bourbon, which means that it's aged at least 2 years. And on this one, they claim that it's aged somewhere between 7 and 9 years, but it's non-age stated anywhere. So they don't really give you a minimum age, but the minimum age should be somewhere between 7 and 9 years. It might contain older bourbon as well. The V on the bottle stands for the yeast strain, and V yeast strain is supposed to produce flavors of delicate fruit. Let's get into tasting this. Nice cork pop. Love that sound. Now, it's been within the last couple of years that Four Roses really hit my radar. I probably had some before that, but I was not overly familiar with it and didn't necessarily like it that much. But I tried the Four Roses small batch, and it quickly became one of my favorite bourbons. If you watched the first couple of videos I did on this channel, you will have seen that in my 6 favorite bourbons of all time, which were prior to actually my getting into bourbon as kind of a hobby and definitely as a YouTube channel, and certainly before my time as a collector. But I still like the small batch a lot. Now, I have had this a couple of times. I first got this over at my brother's house. I decided to buy a bottle for myself, which is this bottle, and I have actually sampled it before. So I know I'm going to like this. What's it like on the nose? It's very sweet, a light caramel, a light fruit, maybe a sour apple, pear. There's vanilla. There's a little bit of ethanol in there. Not a whole lot, but I am getting that sort of ethanol chemical smell to it. Not enough to be unpleasant, but it's off just a little bit. Funny thing is, on the nose, I'm not really picking up that rye spice very much at all. There's just a little hint of baking spice on the nose. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, it starts off nice and light and caramelly sweet. I get the same apple and pear flavors that I got on the nose. Then it sort of goes a little darker on me. As I swallow it, I'm getting a little bit, maybe hints of milk chocolate, perhaps a little bit of cherry, maybe a little bit of tobacco. It does kind of remind me of what I used to smoke in my pipe way back when I used to smoke. Yeah, this is really pleasant. At 100 proof, it's not really going to bother me much. I could sit here and drink this and sip on this all night. It's got a nice finish to it. There is a bit of spice, but given the high rye mash bill and the 100 proof, I would have expected a little bit more spice. I would say it falls somewhere behind the Old Grandad Bottled in Bond or the Old Grandad 114, the Wild Turkey 101 in terms of the cinnamon spice, baking spice flavors. And even in the heat, I'm not really getting, I'm not feeling like this is a really high rye bourbon. So there you have it. If you like my videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, leave a comment. What do you think of Four Roses? Any of the Four Roses? I'll be reviewing some of the other ones later on, just like I did with the Wild Turkey and the Old Forester and some of these other ones, the Maker's Mark. I'm going to be doing a series on their bourbons, pitting them up against each other, sampling them all, just one at a time, individually, trying to savor them and pick out some of the more distinct characteristics. Thanks for watching, and y'all come back now. You hear?